On this episode of TFL Off-Road, we're gonna have lots of fun because we're taking this, a proper original Humvee versus the Hummer H2 on a pretty challenging Bunt School Colorado off-road trail. So which one is better? So here's what we're doing today. My friend Theo brought his Humvee. We're gonna start this trip in Camp Dick, Colorado. And we're gonna go up. It's gonna be really hard at first. Lots of rock crawling. And we're following the Bunt School Trail all the way over here towards Ellen's Park. Then we're actually gonna swap trucks. So Theo's gonna drive the H2 for a little while. I'm gonna drive the Humvee for a little while. Then we're gonna swap back and see exactly if we can make it all the way down. Coming up right now. There he is, I can see him. All right, Theo, I went into 4 low and I'm gonna climb up this first section.
Just do the same.
We have oncoming traffic, but here's a rocky section. Let's see how they do. Yeah, guys, so these two trucks are wildly different. I mean, the H2 is basically a SUV, kind of like a Tahoe would be. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And of course, the Humvee is a fully built military truck. And it looks like Theo is back there just laughing at me.
We good?
Hold on, it's automatic.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, look at this.
It works.
The mirrors are automatic. That's the thing about these trucks. They're a little bit wide.
Just a little tight. Andre?
Theo, you're an expert driver, the white Humvee, and you still can make it.
I know. I think I took out a tree.
All right, here's another obstacle, but it really has to do with width. Both of these trucks are pretty giant, and I'm just trying to fit through this area and see exactly what I can do here. I hope Theo fits. He is fitting. Wow, he moved that boulder a little bit. So Theo, your rig is doing really well, but your passenger door is kind of open.
Well, let's go.
Let's go fix it. Do you have to really slam it?
Yeah, there you go.
Really? All right, Theo, thanks for coming out. So tell me about your rig. First of all, let's start with what it is, what year, etc., etc.
So it's a 1992 Humvee.
I'm noticing you got new tires put on.
Yeah, I have several off-road vehicles, and I wanted to have them to all have the same wheel size. So I've gone from a 16.5 rim to a 17-inch rim, and now all my off-road vehicles can swap share tires.
Okay, so this is a 37 Mud Terrain KM3.
Yes, sir.
So we got KM2, KM3. It's already not fair, dude. You have a newer tire.
That's probably why I have a smoother ride.
What kind of doors are you using here, and what kind of top?
So this is called a helmet top. I think they're called Alpha doors. I'm not sure. I forgot the exact name.
Okay.
But they're vinyl lined.
So you're all protected against scratches.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about Colorado pinstripes.
And dude, I never thought that the H2 was going to be called small, but today it's kind of small. It's a diesel motor. Let's pop the hood and look underneath. So latch is kind of like kind of like on the H2, but you also have to move the grill, right?
Yep.
The grill guard. That looks mean. Looks very mean. Let's see the beast.
See the beast. She's hungry.
Okay, so what is under the hood here?
6.2 naturally aspirated, non-turbo.
So this is a non-turbocharged diesel. Weren't these like 180, 190 horsepower?
Somewhere around there.
remember?
It's where they have more torque.
Okay. So how was it coming up here on the highway? How did that feel?
I maxed out, and I was probably running 30, 40 miles an hour uphill, but
Really?
we didn't overheat, so we're all good.
Yeah, and obviously independent suspension, front and rear. And do you have lockers? And let's go inside and show me your controls, kind of. Just a little bit on your parking brake and your
It's a little
transmission.
messy. Yep.
So we're in low right now.
Yep, we're on 4-wheel low,
And then
Full
3-speed.
3-speed.
Okay. And this is a parking brake, correct?
Yep.
Nice. And how do you start this beast? Can you show us?
Okay, let's warm it up. Glow plugs. Check if it's on neutral.
It purrs like a kitten. All right, let's cut it. And the body is mostly aluminum, is that correct?
Yeah, fiberglass on aluminum. So the hood is fiberglass, the body's aluminum,
So this is
top
very,
is fiberglass. It's light.
it's very interesting because this is around what 5,500 pounds approximately. This is 6,500 pounds, maybe more. So it's really strange. It doesn't compute. You know, the H2 is really heavy, but now it's small compared to the Humvee. Check this out. We're inside the engine bay of the Humvee. Look at this grill. First of all, there's a lower front grill, and then there's a huge section on top of the hood. And this is because the radiators and coolers are kind of almost in horizontal position. They're kind of laying down into the engine bay. The engine right here, this non-turbo diesel, is kind of tucked under, and it kind of goes way into the vehicle, protruding through the firewall. And this is why this vehicle is really wide, and also the main tunnel in the center is so big, because it has to house the engine and of course the 3-speed automatic. Very cool. Well, what do you say? Should we finish the trail?
Let's do it.
I wanted to rock crawl in the Humvee for a long time. Now it's my turn. Oh wow, guys. I mean, this is a whole different game. This is nuts. So Theo actually spent the night camping up above Netherlands, up here in Colorado. And so, okay, so the handbrake I need to disable. And I got camera systems. He's got a lot of cameras, so I can see everything, front and back. And then I go into drive, and this thing is loud.
Yes, sir. It's a little more luxurious than your ride.
This diesel does not have a turbo, so not a lot of power for the top end, but a lot of torque for crawling over obstacles like this. Sophia, what do you think of the H2?
It's comfy. It's like riding a Cadillac.
Well, actually, the Humvee is also kind of a Cadillac, but it's a little bit bigger.
And you need some earmuffs.
It's really interesting. You need to give the Humvee a lot of throttle for it to accelerate. So in the H2, you just touch the throttle and you're already kind of moving. We're both using 4 low, but the driving experience is very, very different. And I can barely see the mirror on the passenger side. I don't feel very comfortable. I don't see a lot back there.
Happy you're driving.
The military truck made me feel like the king of the trail, but now it's time to get back into H2. Okay, I'm negotiating this. Negotiating this very hard ledge. Okay. Gonna try to raise my suspension up. Oh, I hope I don't scrape my steps. I forgot to remove them. I didn't want to remove them. Kind of takes a big deal. Oh, okay, I cleared it. I brought this, the 2003 Hummer H2. This is the first year of the H2 Hummer, and this is basically meant to be kind of the original Humvee, but more for the streets and the roads, but it's also still very off-road capable. It's all stock. It rides on 35-inch tall tires. These just happen to be BF Goodrich KM2s, kind of mud terrain tires. And the only thing that I changed on this, and you probably may have seen this already on TFL truck, we upgraded some of the components in the front to a proper heavy-duty steering system because these were known to break. This is kind of a weird animal because it's got heavy-duty hubs. These are 8-bolt hubs, but light-duty axles, front and rear. And yes, on this one I do have my steps. And in the back, once again, a solid rear axle, independent suspension up front. And another unique thing about this one, it has a air helper system in the back. Air suspension that's really for load leveling. So when you're towing a trailer or carrying heavy loads, the air suspension helps you out. It makes the ride very comfortable, but also it has this off-road mode where you can actually lift up the rear end of this truck. There you go, front pivoting hood. And this is a good old heavy-duty engine. This is the 6-liter Vortec. It produces just around 315 horsepower and about, 350 pound-feet of torque. So it's got decent power, but it's not a 6.2. And it's backed up by a 4-speed automatic. And so far, knock on plastic, this has been a very reliable engine for me. Here's some of the control inside the H2. I have a rear locker. It always has 4-wheel drive, so 4 high, full time. But then you also can get it in kind of a 50-50 front rear distribution, 4 high, and also 4 low. And I've been using 4 low 50-50 distribution all day long today. The air intake is once again on the passenger side and mounted up high, but these pods, these are now fake. There's nothing here. If you can see on the Humvee, there's a windshield wiper, canisters, and air intakes. Here is just basically empty plastic, but the hood opens in a similar fashion, and the grill is very small. You can see it here. There's actually no air coming through the hood, but the radiators are upright, kind of a standard thing when you compare it, but the headlights are tilting, and the grill guard is also tilting along with the hood. Theo, it was an amazing day. What did you think, especially Humvee versus H2?
You have more suspension travel, so it's really comfy, and I really like the captain's chair. That makes a difference.
I mean, your seats are also pretty comfortable, right? They're not the steel that you get in some Humvees. I actually enjoyed driving your truck. I felt like I could just go over anything. You know, I felt really powerful. But on the passenger side, it was like kind of blind. I couldn't see a lot over there.
That's true. It's really wide, so I rely on my cameras and my side mirrors. I have multiple mirrors to help that out.
Yeah, I never thought that when comparing trucks, once again, I would have said, oh, H2 is so nimble and so nice. All right, guys, we had a lot of fun, and both trucks survived. I had a skid plate, but the H2 lives on. Thank goodness I didn't puncture the oil pan. And guys, go back to TFLoffroad.com for all the latest news, views, and real-world off-road reviews. Thanks, dude.